In today's class, we will be studying about how psychology and other disciplines are interconnected and interlinked with each other. So, psychology as a discipline draws a lot from other disciplines, and other disciplines also draw a lot from psychology. So, in today's class, we will be looking at how these subjects are interconnected to each other. So, psychology and other disciplines are interconnected to each other. There are so many common areas of study in psychology and other disciplines. Like, for example, we study brain and its functions in psychology, which is studied and is a part of biology as well, and we all know it. So, likewise, there are other disciplines or subjects which recognize the relevance of the knowledge of psychology in their fields and vice versa. Okay, so this has led to the emergence of interdisciplinary approach in the field of psychology. So now, what is interdisciplinary approach? So interdisciplinary means involving two or more areas of studies. Like I already gave you the example about how we study about brain and its function in biology as well as psychology. So this is a common area or field of study in both the subjects. So in other disciplines also there are many common areas of studies with psychology, and we are going to discuss about it after this slide. So let us talk about now how the field of philosophy and psychology are interrelated to each other. So a lot of people confuse between these two disciplines. First of all, it sounds similar. They both begin with the letter P and end with the letter Y, and of course there is history also. A lot of people also think that psychology is a branch of philosophy. So I would like to clear this confusion for you all. So first of all, psychology has branched out of philosophy, and it has come out of philosophy, but still we cannot say that it is a branch of philosophy. How? So let us just take a small example. Suppose there is a huge tree and there are many branches to that huge tree. So if you cut one of the branches of that huge tree and plant it separately, it is going to grow into a tree of its own. So the same thing has happened with psychology. So until 19th century, a lot of aspects of psychology were studied under the field of philosophy. For example, like early philosophers like Socrates and Plato, during 600 BCE to 300 BCE, at that time they did study and talk about mental illnesses. Of course they didn't use modern terminologies, but they did talk about human abnormal behavior at that point of time. Okay, so likewise there were many aspects of psychology which were studied under the discipline of philosophy, but during the 19th century, some scholars, what they started doing is that they started experimenting these aspects of human behavior, and then when they started studying these aspects of human behavior with experimentation, it gave to the rise of the discipline of psychology. And so we can say that psychology and philosophy are interrelated, and psychology has its roots in philosophy, but of course psychology is an independent discipline. But since it has its roots in philosophy, there are so many aspects of psychology which are similar to philosophy, and there are many things, many similar areas of study, and they come together to study those similar areas of study together. So when it comes to the field of medicine, the first thing that comes to our mind is doctors, nurses, hospitals, our physical well-being. But for our holistic well-being, we have to take care of our mental health well-being as well. See a person with any terminal illness, for example cancer, that person will definitely be physically unwell but will also be mentally unwell, as in like they may suffer from depression or they may be going through any other emotional turmoil. So in that case, that person will not only need physical health support but they also need mental health support. So in that case, counselors, psychologists, people who are in the field of psychology can give them the support of mental health well-being. So that's why now hospitals have also started employing psychologists in large numbers, and they have also incorporated the knowledge of psychology in their field of medicine. So let us now know about how other social science fields like economics, political science and sociology, like how they have considerably drawn from the field of psychology, and they also have enriched the field of psychology. Now, like for instance, economics also studies human behavior, but human behavior in the market. In understanding consumer behavior, who are consumers, us, and our saving behaviors, our decision makings, etc. So that's how psychology plays a major role in the field of economics, because economics is not just studying about facts and everything, but how we as human beings we behave in the market. So the field of psychology also draws a lot from the field of economics and vice versa. So now let us talk about how political science and psychology are interconnected. So in political science also you have to study about human behavior in understanding the nature of power. See, we all know that in politics it's all about power, right? So we have to understand the nature of power in political science, how and why people are in need of power, what are their political ideologies and their voting behavior, etc. So what are ideologies? Ideologies are a set of ideas which forms the basis of a political or economic system. So as we all know, there are different parties, so different parties have different agendas, and we as people we also support different parties. So our set of beliefs, our set of ideas regarding a particular party comes from our ideologies. Okay, so I have this kind of beliefs and ideas, so I'll be supporting this party, that party, it's like that. So in order to know that, you have to study human behavior, right? And now again, when we talk about sociology and psychology, a lot of people confuse between these two subjects. First of all, these two subjects are very closely related, and of course they study a lot of things together. For example, the study of people including thought, behavior and culture. Okay, but in both the subjects the perspective is different, like how what we study may be similar but the perspective is a little different. For example, sociology tends to look at large groups of people, whereas psychology tends to look at individuals or groups of people. Now for example, in psychology, if we want to study about drug addiction, then probably we will be studying drug addiction in a hospital setting, or we will study from an individual level. But when it comes to sociology, then we will be studying about some specific social class and the effect of drug addiction on that social class. So there is a thin line of difference, but again, because they are so similar in whatever they are studying, in many areas they come together to study about the same thing. So like I have talked about how economics, sociology, and political science, these subjects are interconnected with the field of psychology. There are some other subjects also, other non-social science subjects, which are connected to psychology in such ways. They are they draw a lot from the field of psychology, and psychology also draw a lot from those fields. So about those other disciplines we will be studying in our next class. So that's all for today's class. If you have any confusions, queries, you can feel free to ask. I suppose we have some time left, so if there is any confusion, any query, please feel free to ask. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.